Razorback, the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Shop online at shoponrazorback.com. And by KC Insurance Partners. KC Insurance Partners, local people helping local people.
Give me them hogs with mustard, Chuck.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline to 877-377-6963.
And welcome in. We finally have a game day. Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson here on Arkansas Game Day. Good to be with you this morning, bright and early at 7 a.m. Maybe you're driving from Harrison Mountain Home area, Northwest Arkansas, River Valley, or you're driving from Hot Springs. We really appreciate you listening this morning. Maybe the tailgate's already set up around War Memorial Stadium. Maybe you're cooking outside on the grill getting ready for wherever you're watching at home or your friends, your family, wherever the case may be. We really appreciate you making some time for us and making us part of your day. This is a game later on that you were expected to dominate. You're a 34.5-point favorite on the Bet Saracen app for good reason. It's an FCS team. You should overwhelm them. A lot of new faces, a lot of new coaches. This isn't just a player situation. A lot of new coaches you're going to get a chance to see today. But, Tommy, after all these days, the Bud Light Countdown, as you heard, it is today. We're finally here.
I wonder how many people are going to wake up this morning with no plan to go to the game in Little Rock, but they changed their plan today. It won't be thousands, but there will be some that are waking up this morning. You know, I don't want to miss out on this experience today. Don't want to miss out on being there to start the season. It's not necessarily the game. It's not necessarily how close it may or may not be. It's just about getting the season started. It's about being a part of the experience of college football today.
Do we still have any tickets, or are we fresh out?
We are fresh out.
And you said you were kind of, because we got upwards of, 70-plus tickets?
Well, we had a lot of tickets for this particular game. Yeah. There are tickets available. If you want to go, there are still plenty of tickets to get into the stadium. That won't be a problem.
And you were speaking to this either yesterday or on Thursday, kind of how surprised that the demand filled up pretty quickly. So hopefully that's a good sign. I don't want War Memorial to be 10 or 15,000 empty seats. I'd like to see that stadium fill up. It's not going to be, but I don't want the capacity to be a glaring, obvious factor of the game later on today. I would like to see more people there. Now, there was a comparison made earlier this week. Well, how many would you get in Donald W? And that's, listen, a fair point. You're not going to fill up Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium for this first game. You just hope that the atmosphere is not putrid later on at 12 o'clock, especially with the game time change being moved. For those that don't know, I don't know how you don't know at this point in time, but maybe you're just hearing it for the first time. Again, the game originally slated at 3 o'clock has been moved up to 12. So we get our Arkansas Game Day going a little bit earlier. And again, Arkansas Game Day brought to you by our friends at the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners. We're going to be at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers after the game for Hog Reaction. So plenty of calls and texts that we want to hear from you. 877-377-6963 on the McClarty Daniel hotline. If you've got a prediction, if you got a player you want to see, a coach you're most interested in watching, we will get to all that today.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun day. I think people got a variety of plans. Talking about the eating aspect, the tailgating aspect on the golf course. That will be some of it today. There will be a lot of people gathering at home. I've got to figure out we're doing the pregame and the postgame together. I think a lot of people will be stopping in to see you at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville after the game. So I think that's just part of the fabric of college football is, hey, what are we eating today?
It's part of it, no question about it. And I know that for many of us that will be tailgating next weekend, you've got what your plans are for next weekend against Kent State. You've got your food plans for BYU. Now, you're going to have to wait a little bit. I've got food plans for what I'm doing in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Oxford, Mississippi, Dallas, and Tuscaloosa. But, again, a month off. So you want to take advantage of these first 3 home games, whether you're attending or whether you're just hanging out with friends and family, because it is going to be weird, again, a month away from Fayetteville, which I don't think, I was looking it up. I'm not going to go through all 100-plus seasons, but I don't think they've ever had a stretch this long before they haven't played in Fayetteville.
Well, I'm sure there has been when you played games in Little Rock, but probably in the last 20 years, it's probably been few and far between. But I think the big thing starting today is going to be the conversation around personnel and health, and I know we're going to evolve into that. Clay's going to be with us in the 8 a.m. hour. Maybe we can shed some light on the personnel and the people that are going to be available to play in today's game, because I think particularly when we look up front and we think about Brady Latham and we think about a few names and kind of what that offensive line is going to look like, I think that's kind of where the conversation begins with today's game.
Yeah, and hopefully, again, the offensive line dominates initially. Don't know the status, again, of Brady Latham in this one, so whoever they insert, how kind of they shift around if we do see a shift, if Wiggins goes there, or if they move Braun over and there's Tykees Crawford at the right guard position. Again, a lot of question marks at this point, what they're going to do. And then on the other side, defensively, who's going to play, whether it's at linebacker and some other areas, defensive line. Don't expect, based on Coach Pittman's comments on Wednesday night on his coach's show, I do not expect to see Jashad Stewart suit up today, which is a bummer for Miss Lisa and all of our Northeast Arkansas listeners because you love Jashad. I don't think we're going to see him today based on kind of reading between the lines.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a few Razorbacks that don't make the starting lineup that are on the depth chart that was released. I think you may see one or two of these guys that don't even make the trip today. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me at all to see a player that you're counting on for next week, counting on for a good load this season. And Brady Latham's one that comes to mind that might not even be with the team, that stays back in Fayetteville for treatment. And it's going to be a quick trip. They went down last night, early start this morning. They're going to start moving around with team breakfast about right now and then head over to the stadium. I mean, I think you're going to see one or two of these guys. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we find out in a few hours, hey, they didn't even make the trip with the team. So we'll find out as we move through the morning and as we get closer to game time, which is a rare noon game time. We see a lot of 11 a.m. starts. We see 2:30 starts. We see evening starts at a variety of times. It's rare that we see the noon start anymore. We've already had a lot of questions throughout the week and one today already on the McClarty Daniel hotline about next week's game and whether or not that time will be moved. No, it won't, because the only reason this game could be moved is because it was on streaming only and not on TV, and they gave the university some leeway and some freedom to move the game time as they did last Monday to get it here in this noon spot. So we'll learn a lot more as we move through the morning, but and we'll talk about a lot more of this. But I think that the shuffle on the offensive line is going to be the most interesting thing with personnel. And I'm with you. I don't expect to see Latham out there. There'll be a shuffle at guard. I think they're kind of set with the tackles. And I would expect Chamblee to get the start on the left side. I mean, he's put the work in throughout camp. Devin Manuel has just been unable to practice as much as they would have liked, and I think you'll see Chamblee, who's a Maumelle product, get the start today at left tackle.
Yeah, and I would agree with you on that. Again, we are brought to you this morning by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Largest inventory of Razorback merchandise in the business, locally owned by a family of Arkansas alums. You're going to get brands like Tommy Bahama, Champion, Vineyard Vines, Cutter & Buck, and more. The Stadium Shop on Razorback has everything you need for tailgating, game day, man cave decorations, and dorm room stuff. Check them out online at shoponrazorback.com. And by KC Insurance Partners. KC Insurance Partners, local people helping local people. Kevin and Ricky Cohen take care of you and all your health and life insurance needs. They make it simple. Go to kcinsurancepartners.com. Again, one more time, kcinsurancepartners.com for more information. When we come back, we'll get to more of your calls and texts. This is Arkansas Game Day.
This is Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
The most wonderful time.
Whoa,
of
Dad,
the
Christmas is
year.
months away. Why are you singing that?
Oh, no, Matt, it's football season. That is the most wonderful time of the
You
year.
know your dad's side is approaching legendary status. Anyway, Hog fans, this is Matt.
And this is Robert, a.k.a. Legendary Dad Guy.
Dad, please stop. Folks, he is right, though. It is time for football.
And, Matt, with all the hype surrounding this year's football team, everyone should be loading up on their hog gear now before it's too late.
And the Stadium Shop on Razorback has all things Razorback.
Yep, whether your needs are for tailgating, game day, man cave decorations, and dorm room stuff. Hey, Matt, you do have your dorm room
Dad,
ready
I
to go,
graduated 3 years ago.
right? Oh, yeah. Keep forgetting.
Folks,
That's
come and
right.
see us at the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
We're located at 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. And Matt, I'm going to leave that WWS.
He means our website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com. Or you can call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486. It does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Escape to the lake with G3 boats and Suncatcher pontoons. Huge Model N year closeout sale going on now at Auto Finders and Adventure Oklahoma in Roland. Save thousands on 2023 G3 models and Suncatcher pontoons with the largest rebates of the year now through September 30th. There's still time for some fun on the water with Auto Finders and Adventure Oklahoma. View their inventory online at autofindersok.com. Your search ends here. See dealer for rebate details.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights, we switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Heath Roberts, right here in the River Valley, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Heath and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Heath Roberts, it's easy to switch and save. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call Heath Roberts at 479-452-4088.
Shop the store that honors Christ all year. Shop the Solid Rock. Are you looking for that perfect inspirational gift? From greeting cards to home decor, custom laser engraving, and women's boutique items, the Solid Rock is your source for local, hard-to-find inspirational gifts for everyone in the family, including a large selection of Bibles with free name imprint. Solid Rock. Score the perfect gift, share the spirit, enjoy the inspiration. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th and Fort Smith, the Solid Rock, serving the River Valley for over 48 years.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
The Links at Chaffee Crossing takes great pride in providing award-winning barbecue. Whether the craving is for ribs, pork, brisket, or chicken, we can satisfy any appetite. Stop in and watch the game and enjoy everyday food and drink specials like $5 mixed drink specials or $2 domestic beer. Open Tuesday through Sunday, the Links at Chaffee Crossing is ready to serve you the best barbecue in the River Valley. The Links at Chaffee Crossing next to Deer Trails Golf Course. Come see us.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. This is Arkansas Game Day.
Sanders pushing toward the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
I kind of like the hogs there, Chuck.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline 877-377-6963.
We got plenty of people listening this morning, including Bobby from Ashdown, who's got steaks on the grill later on. He's got a big breakfast cooking this morning. He's listening to us on his smart speaker. You can always listen again right here on any of these ESPN Arkansas stations. HitThatLine.com. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter as well as we get you ready for this game later on at 12 o'clock.
It's Arkansas Game Day presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by KC Insurance Partners. After the game, if you're making your way back down I-40, headed west, stop in and see Ty. You're going to be at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers for hog reaction following the game. So if you're hungry, get to exit 81. We're going to be at CJ's tonight following the game.
Yeah, come by and see us, Keith, Sally, and the rest of the team. We're excited to take care of you and excited to see you and again react to hopefully what would be a blowout win. Other listeners this morning, again on the McClarty Daniel hotline, Barry's listening from South Bend, Indiana. He's got tickets to the game later on between Notre Dame, I don't know, TSU. I don't know if that's Tennessee State or who that is. Maybe it's Tennessee something, but he is going to see them later on. But he's at least listening to us this morning. Again, that's a trip that we want to make at some point, Tommy. Just haven't been to South Bend just yet.
Yeah, hopefully that game will make it. So where are you listing? Hopefully the Arkansas will get that return trip. Where are you listing this morning, and kind of how are you starting your first big college football Saturday here in Arkansas? Text us on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963.
Zach's listening from Paragould. Kyle's listening from Ennis, Texas. Ryan's listening from the 479, and Lance is listening from Fort Sill. Is Fort Sill in Arkansas, or where's that at?
Texas.
Texas?
Yeah.
Okay. I did not know. I'm not as familiar with, No, Oklahoma, Tommy.
Is it Oklahoma? Okay.
Yeah, it's in Oklahoma, actually. So that is where Lance is listening. Lance, we appreciate you listening and all. Not that. It's in Lawton, Oklahoma. North of Lawton, Oklahoma. So that's where that is this morning. I got a buddy that's stationed out near Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's kind of funny. They have debates all the time about Fayetteville, Arkansas, and Fayetteville, North Carolina. But he's stationed, I think it's Fort Bragg, if I remember that right. But again, like Tommy said, call or text in where you're listening this morning. So what is going on the grill later on today?
I don't know. I hadn't even probably some chicken because with our schedule today, there's not a ton of time to do much of a smoke for sure, but probably grill something, probably burgers or some chicken today. But probably a light start. Now we've got a hot dog machine, one of them rollers we bought a couple of years ago, so we'll probably load that up with some stuff. And somewhere along the way, we got one of them nacho cheese machines. So I think we're going to kind of have a football type food today.
There you go. Got more listeners texting in where they're listening from. Mike's listening from upstate New York on the McClarty Daniel hotline. Joe is listening from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Joe, I'll see you in 3 weeks. Cannot wait to go down to Tiger Stadium. Andy's listening from Fayetteville. JP's listening from Dirks. Todd's listening from Blytheville. Eric's listening from Jacksonville. So we got people from all over. Rob's listening from Van Buren. I'd say we got a wide variety this morning, listeners.
Yep. So what do we think about the game today? You can call us and give us your thoughts. Ty, what are you expecting to see today?
They're going to rock them. It might take a quarter, but this is not going to be a close football game. And I don't expect Arkansas to cover. Initially this week when I put in our Bet Saracen picks, I picked Arkansas to cover. As we've gotten closer to the game, I've kind of backed off that. And in our Fitzman Friday picks yesterday, I actually picked Western Carolina, the Catamounts, to cover. I think Arkansas wins kind of in that 31-point, 28-point range. 34.5. I mean, you think about it, it's 5 touchdowns. That is a lot. And I know it's an FCS opponent, but 5 touchdowns is a ton. So I think it probably takes a quarter. I think they're a little slow to get off at first. I know Coach Pittman has preached over and over, got to get off to a fast start. KJ said the same thing. Step on their throat, blah, 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 blah. It's not going to be right. They're not going to score an opening touchdown. I don't think they're going to march at 80 or 75 yards. But I do think that once they kind of get a quarter under their belt, the talent's going to take over.
I'm interested to see how the defense can defend. I think Arkansas will score plenty of points. I think they'll score more than 35 points in this game. How few can they give up? I don't think it'll be north of 3 touchdowns, but I don't think they're going to hold Western Carolina scoreless either. So I agree with you, and I thought 34.5 was too much. And you can really tell where people's wallets went by the reaction, and we'll hear it some after the game when they're upset about the final score one way or the other. But until I see this defense able to lock down on an opponent of this level, I wouldn't feel comfortable with 34.5 at this point.
You just think about, again, new faces that we've spoken to, players and coaches. It's not one or the other, it's both. You have an entirely new defensive staff with the exception of Deke Adams. You've got a new tight ends coach, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, of course. So, again, that doesn't, just because you have a fall and a spring, doesn't mean that offseason is 100% going to solidify, regardless of what opponent you play later on today, and they get in a lesser opponent. I really appreciate Coach Kerwin Bell joining the Give Me the Hogs Chuck podcast, but you could tell what you framed yesterday, and I thought it was fine. You could tell in certain the way that he was talking that they're not necessarily expected, but they don't want to compete. They don't want to get blown out. You don't tell that to your team, but read between the lines a little bit. That's kind of what you pick up.
The other thing is he doesn't want to get anyone hurt playing an SEC team that could really wreck his season, because as Chuck was talking about, this could be one of the better FCS teams in the country, perhaps. We'll see. But they're on the right trend. Maybe they're an 8 or 9 win team, as Chuck was talking with him about when it's all said and done. This is a check that they need to cash to fund their program. And what you want to come out of here today with more than anything is be a healthy team for both sides. And particularly if you're Western Carolina, this is a game that you're concerned about that.
I would rather win by 21 and be completely healthy than win by like 50 and lose a key guy or something. That's that's the reality of this situation. And Coach Pittman, again, will not say that on air, but that's what he's thinking in his mind, and I think a lot of fans feel that way. You got to remember, the opponent you get next week just lost, 52-6 against Gus Malzahn and UCF? So the non-conference slate you have in front of you is not horrible. I don't know what Florida International is going to be, but again, FCS opponents, a team that just got drummed by 40-something points, at least you have 2 weeks where, again, they're not automatic wins, but it's a little bit easier than what you had last year. And I say a little bit, it's a lot easier than what you had last year.
You're right. Kent State will be a step up. I mean, they're not FCS. They are FBS. This is your only FCS opponent this year, but thankfully. But your point is valid that, hey, Kent State's going to be should be on paper the second most winnable game on your schedule, and that's the way you start this year, which is a juxtaposition of where you were last year, where you started out with some really tough games, and Cincinnati was a darn tough game starting the year.
Yeah. And hopefully, again, this game isn't one that's close or anything of that nature. It just goes pretty quickly. This is an opportunity, unlike you had last year, to get in some young guys. Now, first and foremost, execute on offense, execute on defense. But these younger players that we've spoken to, you want to see them. This is the chance, especially Jacoby Criswell, who not exactly doesn't fit the young player mold, but a backup quarterback, most popular player on the team. I say that. KJ's the most popular player on this team. I think that's undisputed at this point. Rocket's a close second. But
I hear what you're saying, though.
This is a game that Jacoby could play a quarter, maybe a quarter and a half. I don't know if they'll play him and then go to Ford and after. Maybe we see young Malachi Singleton later on today. But you'd like to see, honestly, 3 or 4 quarterbacks later on.
Yeah, and we all assume the game's going to unfold that way. In a perfect world, you're in total command and control by halftime, and you have a lot of options in the third quarter. And you come out and maybe put your starters in for one more series, and you go from there. I think on defense, you'll see a rotation a little more throughout the ball game, because I think the depth's a lot closer in some areas. As far as, from 1 to 2 or 3 on the depth chart, the separation in the rotations on that, say, defensive line will allow for that. But offensively, I would love to see Criswell and maybe a third quarterback get some reps, mid to late third quarter and all of the fourth quarter. But that's in a perfect world where you don't turn the ball over. You already have broken the will of the opponent at the offensive and defensive lines, and you're having your way. And we'll see. The heat of the day, I think, is another reason, if you find yourself in that situation, get those starters out of there. I mean, it's not as hot as it was a week ago, but it's still enough that you'd like to save some of that energy for down the road.
Yeah, the expectation I would have if I was a head football coach heading in this game is hopefully you could pull your starters after the first drive of the third quarter, and then the other guys, backups, just play the entire second half to use at this point. What do you think is going to happen today? Again, jump in here on the McLarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Tommy, we still got more listeners texting in where they're listening from. Van Buren, Mount Vernon, Illinois, Pottsville, Arkansas, Norton, Massachusetts, Maryland, Edmond, Oklahoma. So we've got a pretty wide reach this morning.
Casting a wide net, and got people listening and watching on our YouTube and Facebook, and we call it our X stream now. I don't know what we call it now on Twitter.
I still call it Twitter. I probably should switch over to X at this point, but I feel like more people know it as X. Matt's listening this morning as he texted on the McCarty Daniel hotline on Highway 10 in an area I know very well on his way to the game from Mount Magazine. So hopefully, Matt, get there safe and have fun later on today. Dave's texting. He's listening from Nixon, Missouri. Dave, I've got a really good friend from Arkansas that is from Nixon, Missouri. It's a Jason Bourne. You know when you've seen the movie The Bourne?
Yeah.
Okay, his license says Nixon Mo on it. For those
Just
that didn't know
outside of
that.
Springfield.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Yep. So, all right, this is Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop at Fayetteville and by KC Insurance Partners in Harrison. KC Insurance Partners, local people helping local people. Kevin and Ricky Cowan take care of you and your health and life insurance needs. They make it simple. Go to kcinsurancepartners.com for details.
All right, when we return here on Arkansas Game Day, again, more of your thoughts, more of your calls, more of your text, and we'll kind of dive in a little more to what Arkansas is expecting from the Catamounts next.
This is Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
Honey, I found a great new house for us to buy. Look at the photos.
Yeah? Who's gonna clean that big house?
We'll hire a housekeeper.
And who's gonna mow all that grass?
I will, on the weekends.
And who will get the kids to school?
We'll start a neighborhood carpool.
You thought of everything, didn't you?
Yep.
Except, who's gonna sell this house we're living in now?
Nick and Ellie Glidewell. nickandellie.com. Equal housing opportunity, Sagely and Edwards Realtors.
When it comes to your vehicle dent repairs, you want a local professional that you can trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your place. Michael, his family, and team have been in the community for over 30 years and are the best in the business. When all the other pop-up hail damage places have packed up and left town, Littleton's is still here taking care of your vehicle every day. Stay local. Stay with the best. Stay with the name you know and trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Highway 112 off I-540 in Pecola.
What makes a meal magical? Maybe it's coming home to smiling faces and the aroma of the grill. Maybe magic is the moment you finally get the secret ingredient to Mom's signature mac and cheese. Who knows, magic might just be as simple as meeting up with a friend to share a number 2 with fries and extra ketchup. One thing's for certain, magic shouldn't be hard because it's everywhere. All it takes is mixing the right ingredients, good company, great food, and ice-cold Coca-Cola. And then, voila! You'll have a recipe for magic.
Passion is something that exists in all of us.
I know we got a lot of passionate Hog fans listening right now. And I know that all of you love football season. Dave Bushkill and his team over at Eastside Liquor are the exact same way. They can take care of all your tailgating and party needs, whether it's just a few beers or alcohol in bulk. Stop by 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith to check off every item on your list. Eastside Liquor, your #1 stop for Arkansas football this season.
Summer's winding down, but the savings are just getting started. During the end-of-season pool sale at Burton Pools and Spas, owning a pool is more affordable than ever. For a limited time, save as much as $12,000 on a new top-of-the-line in-ground pool. That's right, save up to $12,000 on a new pool. One of the best investments you can make in your family. Visit Burton Pools and Spas in Fort Smith and Springdale or burtonpools.com. At Burton, we do more than build swimming pools. We build long-term relationships.
For 128 years, farmers have trusted New Holland tractors to get the job done. From the T9 670 for the large farm to the subcompact 25S for your small acreage and everything in between, New Holland has you covered. Find yours at Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma, where you'll always find service before and after the sale. New Holland, we get the job done.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Why would you wander around a warehouse store looking for paint when you could just swing by your neighborhood Ace? In addition to Ace's award-winning service, we have top-rated paint brands. Plus, our color matching technology allows us to match any color. So stop wandering and start painting. Head to your neighborhood Ace today.
Now through September 11th, buy 1 gallon of Clark Kensington or Ace Royal paint and get one 50% off at your local Yeager's Hardware. Sale includes interior and exterior paint, limit 2.
Walk-Ons is always a win. Whether it's a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner, Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and coming soon to Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. This is Arkansas Game Day.
Sanders pushing toward the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
I kind of like the hogs there, Chuck.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline 877-377-6963.
Back here from Arkansas Game Day, Tom, we got to go across the pond for a sec. We got a texter here this morning on the McClarty Daniel hotline on the 305 that's listening from St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Well, I'd like to be there this morning.
My goodness gracious. Randall's listening in Appleton, Wisconsin this morning, and we really have reached out. Again, this is Arkansas Game Day presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners. If you've got some thoughts on this game today, feel free to jump in with us this morning.
Got to get game day ready. The season opener in Fayetteville is next week. We're going to be at the Stadium Shop. You need to get by there today or sometime this next week and get your game day gear ready. They've got all the top lines. I got a Tommy Bahama I bought there last season. It is perfect for any kind of like business casual that you'd like to have a Razorback on, or you just want to look nice going to the game. Those Tommy Bahamas are great. They've got Cutter and Buck, Wrangler, Columbia. Champion Vineyard Vines is a great lineup, a great line of shirts and stuff too. Robert and his family, they do such a great job, and I mean, there's everything, not just shirts and T-shirts and hats. They got everything for the man cave. They got decorations and stuff for your office or any room in the house, dorm room stuff as well. It doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Shop online at shoponrazorback.com. We'll see you next Saturday for Arkansas Game Day at the Stadium Shop next to Baum Walker in Fayetteville.
Again, plenty of texts this morning. I want to hear some calls. I want to hear someone's voice outside of Tommy and myself. So someone call in this morning so we can get to some point of that. So KJ Jefferson starts what we expect to be his final season today. Technically, because of COVID, because of his red shirt, he has one more year next season if he chooses so. But if he comes back next season, that means he did not have a good enough season to move on to the National Football League. Now, for KJ, you would love to see him as a first rounder. Will he be? I don't know. I didn't think Anthony Richardson was worth a fourth round or a fourth overall pick, but evidently the Indianapolis Colts thought he was that good and had that big of a ceiling moving forward. So maybe KJ's ceiling.
Think they'd like to have him back in Florida?
Yeah, with that situation, good grief. So, I mean, with KJ this year, again, new offensive coordinator, new wide receivers, retooled offensive line on the outside to some extent. So this is something that he's going to have to deal with a number of different pressure points. How does he react to that? Because, again, we can talk about the wide receivers, we can talk about a variety of things, but the quarterback is the gas that makes the engine go. And I think we'll see some improvement this year. The question is, how improved is he as a starting quarterback in the Southeastern Conference?
And, we'll be looking at passing, and he's had a high completion percentage. A lot of that's been behind the line of scrimmage, but or some of it, a good piece of it, we should say. Where is he at in the development of the timing routes and some of the motions and stuff over the middle? He's always been good and had a good feel and touch for the deep ball, but we're not ones to judge footwork and foot mechanics and those things, but what we do see is the finished, polished product that I think we know what a good quarterback looks like. Any of us that's watched the game, all of us listening know, what it's like. I think the NFL is a good, comparison from the standpoint of how many real starting quarterbacks do you have in the NFL? I know there's 32 jobs and 32 different guys start, but there's really 10, maybe 12 that could start anywhere, anytime.
I'd probably say that's accurate.
It's a hard deal. I think in the SEC, this is a place where it's hard to be one of the top 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks in a conference of this nature. Mm-hmm. Some years are better than others. I think KJ's put himself in that position. I'm really interested, not so much as what happens today, and that's the end-all, be-all, and we want to have a conclusion based on this game today, and some will jump to that, good or bad at the end of the day. But what is the maturation of KJ from last year to this year under Dan Enos? Today we start getting a few answers. I don't think we have them all, and we shouldn't overreact one way or the other.
Yeah, and that would probably be the biggest thing to take away, because my thoughts on the defensive line, for example, if they dominate today, which I expect them to have a chance to do, then I'm still going to hold my tongue until what I see against the LSU Tigers and Jaden Daniels. By the way, they destroyed Jaden last year, so hopefully we'll see that back-to-back. for the offense and company, you have to hold 100% opinion. Now, if they played a really good football team in week 1, like Cincinnati, for example, this past season, I was more quick to give positives because Luke Fickell brought in a quality football team. This team you're playing on later on at 12, it's not a quality football team. You should thrash these guys. It shouldn't even be close. There's no way to be cordial about this. There's no way to be respectful. You should beat the pulp out of these guys. That's just how it comes down to. You're the
There's
Arkansas
always a way to
Razorbacks.
be polite,
No, there's
Ty.
not with an FCS opponent. I really appreciate Kerwin Bell joining us earlier this week, but that's just the reality of the situation and the FCS opponents that you play today.
It's a heel turn.
That's just how it is.
Well, you should outclass these guys. There's no question. But I'm more interested in, does Arkansas do anything to beat Arkansas? I've been that way all week about this game. Is don't beat yourself, and don't turn the ball over. Don't have pre-snap penalties. Don't do things. Don't have defensive breakdowns where a wide receiver's 10 yards behind you and is wide open for an easy score. Don't have things of that nature that are just obvious mistakes. Those are the things that I'm more interested in seeing. Had those been eliminated by both sides of the ball this year?
And I read the stat yesterday, and I was amazed by it. Now, usually it's like, oh, you have a really good chance to win if you win the turnover battle. Guys, Coach Pittman is undefeated when they win the turnover margin in the course of a game. He's 12-0. 5-0 last year, 12-0 over the course of his 4 games here at 4 years at Arkansas. Again, undefeated when Arkansas, and I say 4, this entering year 4, when they win the turnover battle. That's pretty nuts to think about at this point. Now, it's not, it's like high winning percentage, you win it, but if they win a turnover battle this year, I'm expecting them to win the football game. Maybe there's an anomaly or something, but if this team forces turnovers, which Travis Williams teams have done in the past, then I like their chances in a lot of games this fall.
JT in Hot Springs texting in on the McClarty-Daniel hotline. Should we be worried, Ty, if Arkansas doesn't score 50-plus points in this game?
Again, worry is a strong word. JT, call in, by the way. You're not working today. I know you're not working today. That's your excuse during the week. But I think the more operative word is just like wondering why. I mean, you should hang 50-plus on these guys. It's not concern. There's a difference, I think. Just wondering.
I don't know that Sam Pittman is a put his boot heel on your throat kind of guy. We haven't seen. I don't think he's a run it up guy. Should Arkansas be able to go out in 11 or 12 possessions? Generally, you get about 12 possessions in a football game. Could be 11, could be 13. That's generally the range. Can you score on 9 of those? Can you only be forced to punt today once, maybe twice? Do you not turn the ball over? I'm more interested in the efficiency and the effectiveness of getting first downs than I am the final number.
Well, if you score 9 of those, that's only 56 points. If you score a field goal in one of those possessions, then you're going to be – it's either you got to score 8 touchdowns, and I guess it's 9 times 7 is 56, right?
8 and 7 is 56.
8 and 7 is 56. What's 9 times 7? 63. So I guess you can score 8 touchdowns.
I get a bonus for doing math this morning.
8 times 7, 56. So I guess you can score 8 touchdowns in a field goal or 7 touchdowns and 2 field goals if you score on 9 of the 12 possessions.
And if Arkansas runs it a lot, maybe that shortens the game. Maybe you have one less. I'm not too concerned if they only scored 42 points or 45 points. If they struggled to score 25 points or only had 21, 24 points, something like that on the board, Are we going to be jumping up and down and worried about losing to Kent State? No. Are you ready for an SEC slate at this point? No, but there's several weeks before you have to be. So let's look at the drives. Let's look at how they end. Let's look at where they begin and see what our final analysis should be. You're right. I mean, is the potential there to score 50 plus? Yes. But if you get 10, 12 possessions, they would have a chance to do that today.
Clay Henry, the Hall of Famers, lifts in this morning. He brings up a good point. You can score on defense, too. And he's exactly right. You're going to have a chance to, again, force some bad passes today with the amount of times that the Catamounts throw the football. So if you do see a pick 6 from Dwight McLaughlin or Snacks Johnson or Hudson Clark or whatever, that'd be great to see. How they'd be encouraging for, again, a unit last year. That was horrible. I mean, when you're dead last in college football, there's no other way to slice it. They were really bad last year from a passing defense standpoint. Now, you can point to the injuries. It's really hard to get past all the guys they lost. And you have to bring in also the fact that you lost a starter in Greg Brooks at one point and Joe Fouché, who Greg might be the best defensive player on LSU, at least in the secondary at this point. No disrespect to Harold Perkins. He's the best player on that defense.
Paul in Fayetteville with a question on the McClarty Daniel hotline. Will we see a slightly more pass-heavy game plan today to try and build that quarterback-receiver relationship there and that timing? I think you could see a little more pass-heavy at times, but is it to build that timing, that relationship, or is it to not have as many called quarterback runs or put him in RPO situations where he runs? I don't think you want to run KJ any more than you need to. Now, keep in mind, he hadn't been hit throughout camp, so you need to test that out a little bit. He needs to get acclimated to contact, but you don't want to take any more hits. I thought Matt Jones broke it down perfectly yesterday on halftime about, hey, you're going to have so many dropbacks that 4 or 5 a quarterback gets hit. You're going to have 4, 5, 6, 7 called runs for the quarterback. You don't want to put your quarterback, particularly in a game like this, where someone comes in and takes their Sunday punch, if you will, and puts a hit on KJ that's really not necessary. So I wonder if the called quarterback runs get a little bit curtailed today just to avoid those unnecessary hits on your star player.
I think it's a combo, probably. I get where you're coming from, and I also think that Paul brings up a good point where that's, you know what he has. Listen, he's played with Rocket the last 2 years, AJ the last 2 years, played with Rashad last year. Handing the football off when you played with running backs and the feel is there is not as difficult than when you're trying to find timing routes, when you're trying to connect with guys, put in the place that they like with Tesla, Armstrong, Satania to a certain extent. I know he played last year, but he didn't really play because of injury. And some of the other guys that they've either brought in or they haven't played as much. So I would say, Paul, that's honestly a good point by you. And, again, it's probably a combo of the two.
Yeah, I think they'd like to see the passing game be effective, be able to move the chains. I just go back to, you want to make sure your quarterback gets acclimated to contact that he hasn't had. He's the one guy on the team that really hadn't played full-scale football to this point. And that's just the nature of where you're at. You thud up, you do those things, but that's not how the plays will end today. I think there's also you got to get him back in the swing of things without taking unnecessary risk.
Text from Brett in Van Buren. He's more concerned about the defense and the offense than this game. Well, Brett, the defense is going to get tested early. We heard that from Coach Kerwin Bell, him talking about what they're going to try and do. You're going to see 2 different quarterbacks today from the Catamounts, and they're going to get thrown on a lot. So you think about, again, the impact the defensive line could have. Chuck made a really good point this week. They might not finish with 6 or 7 sacks today, but if they're consistently hurrying, putting the quarterbacks on their butts, and just making them uncomfortable, that impact's going to be seen with incompletions, off throws, and hopefully a pick 6 or 2.
From what it sounds like, they're going to stretch the field sideline to sideline, bubble screens, make you play toward the boundaries. They're going to have stretch runs and stuff that go towards boundaries. So you're going to have to be able to defend the field laterally today, from what it sounds like.
Yeah, no,
and that's smart, because why would you try to run up the middle on the Razorbacks? I think at the line of scrimmage, which is really where the game's going to be won or lost, Arkansas should win that battle easily.
Yep, they should. All right, we got one more segment here of Arkansas Game Day. Again, if you want to jump in hour 1, Clay Henry, Hall of Famer, is going to join us on the McClarty Hotline in hour number 2. This is Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
This is Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
Hello, this is Kevin Cowan at KC Insurance. I wanted to let you all know about the amazing Medicare options that's available to Arkansans. We have Medicare supplements that does come with a cost, but there's no out-of-network. And then we have Medicare Advantage plans that is at no cost, but there is a network. But Ricky Cowan specializes in making the Medicare maze easily understood. Give her a call at 870-416-5600. That's KC Insurance.
This is Arkansas Game Day. It's hard enough to find a quality used vehicle and even harder to get the financing. Well, look no more. RVR Auto can do both. They have a large selection of pre-owned vehicles and offer in-house financing with payments tailored to your needs. Cars, vans, trucks, all makes and models. And RVR Auto is locally owned. RVR Auto, where you aren't just a customer, you're part of the family. And they also sell used vehicle parts for all makes and models, even those hard to find. Check out their inventory at rvrauto.net or give them a call at 918-626-8111. RVR Auto. Be a part of the family.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
When a hailstorm comes to the River Valley, homeowners have doubts on what roofing company to deal with. That's why it's better to contact the experts that are local. That company is Construction Masters Roofing, a locally owned company that's ready to change the roof on your home. Construction Masters Roofing is insured and local, specializing in hail claims and replacing windows, siding, and gutters. Construction Masters Roofing, located at 225 North Greenwood Avenue in Fort Smith. Call for a free estimate, 479-648-8888 or 918-859-4724.
This is Matt Blaylock for Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. For 40 years, we've had the honor and privilege of serving the River Valley. Thank you to all the great customers, contractors, distributors, friends, and family that we've had the opportunity to build lasting relationships with over the past 4 decades. A lot has changed since 1983, but our commitment to providing the highest quality service, sales, and products has not. To get a red truck rolling your way, just give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
For 128 years, farmers have trusted New Holland tractors to get the job done. From the T9 670 for the large farm to the subcompact 25S for your small acreage and everything in between, New Holland has you covered. Find yours at Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma, where you'll always find service before and after the sale. New Holland, we get the job done.
Frank Rowe Furniture is your family-owned furniture, appliance, and electronics store. We have been servicing the area for 38 years with quality products and service after the sale. Frank Rowe Furniture offers a no-pressure sales atmosphere where you can actually enjoy shopping for your furniture. We also offer in-store, no-credit check financing. Don't wait weeks to be able to take your furniture you purchase home. Stop by and we will load you up today. Family-owned, service after the sale, and no-credit check financing. Frank Rowe Furniture, 405 4th Street, Marlin, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Walk-Ons is always a win. Whether it's a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner, Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and coming soon to Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. This is Arkansas Game Day.
Sanders pushing toward the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
I kind of like the hogs there, Chuck.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline to 877-377-6963.
See the big news from yesterday concerning the music industry who passed away?
Elvis?
Jimmy Buffett.
No
longer with us, unfortunately.
Did not see that.
Yeah, I went to 3 of his concerts, had some of the most fun of any of the concerts I've ever been to.
Wasn't he sick lately? I think I read something about that a while back.
He has not been doing well. And again, that's probably not the what you wanted to hear here on Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners. But I got a chance to go to 3 of his concerts, and just so much fun.
Wasn't one of them last year?
That I went?
Yeah. Or you were scheduled to go?
So we went to Kenny Chesney last year, which was a lot of fun, but
it wasn't very long ago. Drew.
Yeah, Drew
Barrett went one.
Yeah, Drew got a chance to go, but 76 years old, Jimmy Buffett has died.
Well, great music, but I think his greatest contribution, in my perspective, is Land Shark beer. You may not know if you've ever had a Land Shark. It's a fantastic beer, and I discovered it at his sister's restaurant, Lulu's, in Gulf Shores in 2006 when we were headed to the Citrus Bowl. We stopped there and for an overnight stay, and so drink a Land Shark this weekend in honor of Jimmy Buffett.
Honor, again, of Jimmy Buffett. Still texting in here on the McClarty Daniel Hotline some question for us, Tommy. Got a question from Chris, who's listening in, I'm assuming, Nashville, Arkansas this morning. Which position group do you have the most questions about? You know what, Chris, that's a good question. I think I'm still on this one going to go offensive line. Again, I think you're pretty solidified up the middle, assuming that Brady Latham comes back. There's a chance you don't see him today because of health. But those tackles, man, you got a lot of need at the tackle position in any college football team, especially in the SEC when you got SEC quality defensive end and linebackers. If those guys who hadn't played a lot of snaps, if they're not ready to go this fall, we might be in trouble.
I'm with you. I wouldn't surprise – I don't expect Latham to play today. Wouldn't surprise me if he even skipped the trip to get rehab and get ready for next week. So that wouldn't be a surprise if we learned that news maybe later on. I expect Chamblee today at the left side. You'll see Manuel. I think that will be his spot as the season unfolds. Chamblee's earned the right to start. I know you said, well, it doesn't matter who earned the right, put the best player in. I get that, but Chamblee's done all the work in the last 2 weeks. I think the gap is narrow enough. And I think the other thing is, where's Andrew Chamblee from? Maumelle, right? Just down the road. Yeah. I think Sam Pittman, he loves his guys up front. Andrew Chamblee, I think will be the first to trot out at left tackle today. I think Braun will move over to that left side because Latham's not going to be able to go. You'll have Limmer in the middle. I think Tykees Crawford will be your right guard to start the game today, and then Kutas. I think that's the first five, but I think that'll be one of those things. We'll talk to Clay. He'll have his field glasses, or we call them binoculars, trained on that because I think there's going to be a lot of shifting and a lot of movement of personnel, and we are all habitual ball watchers during a game, but that's really, to me, the most intriguing thing is to watch, who the first five are. That's who I think the first five will be out today. And then from there, what pieces of the puzzle do they move around to try to find the right combination that best fits the team moving through the game?
Is he going today? Clay.
Yes, he's on his way now. We talked to him earlier, and we're going to hear from him in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, his where he grew up is very similar to where my parents live now, right by War Memorial Stadium. And I know my dad and several not just Central Arkansas residents, but Southeastern, Eastern, and Southeastern Arkansas residents are excited to see this game in person later on at War Memorial Day. Again, 12 o'clock start is when we'll get things going. We'll have Arkansas Game Day for another hour after this before we send it up to Phil and the guys at Learfield.
Yeah, so a full day. Then after the game, if you're headed down I-40 going east now to the game, when you head back, pull off at exit 81. Ty's going to be at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. You can get you a celebratory burger and fries and, of course, a shake at exit 81 at CJ's. It's the place to eat in Russellville. Burgers, fries, shakes. We'll have it all after the game with Hog Reaction. You'll be there. I'll be here at Master Control in the studio, and we'll take your calls and texts later on from CJ's on the McClarty Daniel Hotline.
There's a chance Chuck Barrett might stop by as well. We were joking about that with him yesterday. It's not a great chance, but at least it's a chance. It's better than nothing.
I think the chance, what was the movie? Dumb and Dumber? So you're telling me, is that the right movie?
Yeah.
You're telling me there's a chance? I think the chances in that movie were...
It's about better? Were they better?
Were better in the movie than I think of Chuck stopping to have a burger with you after the game.
Well, that's
today.
His loss. That to be
Well,
honest.
I agree. I mean, he's going to be the
loss.
one missing out on CJ's. All right, it's Arkansas Game Day presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville next to Baum Walker. Shop online at shoponrazorback.com and by KC Insurance Partners. Go to kcinsurancepartners.com for more information.
All right, hour 2 coming up. Clay Henry, the Hall of Famer, will join us as well next.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
We know there's never a shortage of work to do. Get more done with a New Holland Workmaster Compact Tractor. Available now at WT Equipment. Get big savings when you buy now. 0% financing for 72 months. Plus, no payments for 90 days or choose cash back on these 24 to 55 horsepower compact and subcompact tractors. They're roomy, easy to operate, and still deliver all the power you could ask for. Upgrade your work today at WT Equipment in Springdale. Online at WTEquip.com. But hurry, offers end August 31st.
Here's to you and yours from your friends at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. Hey, warmer weather is with us, and that means fun in the outdoors. Whether you're in the boat, onshore enjoying a picnic, or attending a family celebration, In Good Spirits can provide you with the tastiest adult beverages in town. And don't forget to treat yourself as you listen to the game. In Good Spirits, Highway 71 South across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Frankrow Furniture is your family-owned furniture, appliance, and electronics store. We have been servicing the area for 38 years with quality products and service after the sale. Frankrow Furniture offers a no-pressure sales atmosphere where you can actually enjoy shopping for your furniture. We also offer in-store, no-credit check financing. Don't wait weeks to be able to take your furniture you purchase home. Stop by and we will load you up today. Family-owned, service after the sale, and no-credit check financing. Frankrow Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese. He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe in a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith. What do you get when you pull into Tony's Tire Service? You get the best selection of tires for any car, truck, or commercial vehicle. Tony's Tire Service has Cooper tires and is ready to serve you to get you back on the road safely. They'll also get your vehicle fixed with brake replacements plus an alignment with the best repair guy in the area. Tony's Tire Service has been serving the River Valley for over 34 years. Come let our guys replace your tires with Cooper tires and our service department to make sure the vehicle has the best brakes and alignments. Tony's Tire Service, 7200 South 28th Street in Fort Smith. Service you can depend on.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
What's on your to-do list today? Does it include looking for a new piece of heavy equipment? If so, come by and see us at Sharp Equipment today and explore our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Newson dealer. Whatever your day brings, whatever job it is you need to complete, Wacker Newson Equipment is up to the task, and Sharp Equipment is here to help. Stop in Central Hydraulics and see us at Sharp Equipment, located at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-242-1406.
Bad Boy tractors are made tough, just like their mowers, and they can tackle any job for the small acreage farmer. With 40 horsepower and under, they're the perfect tractor for all your needs. Find yours today at Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma. Bad Boy tractors are made tough, just like their mowers, and they can tackle any job for the small acreage farmer. With 40 horsepower and under, they're the perfect tractor for all your needs. Find yours today at Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma.
Camping World is the world's largest RV dealer with more than 1 million RVs sold. And now at over 200 locations strong, we're making RVing more fun and more affordable than ever. Whether you're looking for a travel trailer, fifth wheel, or motorhome, we have new RVs starting at less than $5 a day. And we have the largest selection of quality pre-owned RVs anywhere, with an RV for every lifestyle and a payment for every budget. It's easy to see why Camping World has sold over 1 million RVs. Click, call, or come into your local Camping World today. See dealer for more details and disclaimers.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins
today. This is Arkansas Game Day.
Running away from the defense, he's going to score. Rocket into the end zone.
Arkansas Game Day is presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. The Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Shop online at shoponrazorback.com. And by KC Insurance Partners. KC Insurance Partners. Local people helping local people.
Give me them hogs with mustard, Chuck.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline to 877-377-6963.
And welcome into hour number 2 of Arkansas Game Day. Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, the Hall of Famer Clay Henry will also join us this hour on the McClarty Daniel hotline. Feel free to jump in with us this hour if you've got some thoughts. 877-377-6963. Derek shares his thoughts this morning. He's on call this weekend, so he prays that he does not get called into the office at some point from 12 to 4. Being on call is not that fun. I've had many people over the years tell me about their situation, whether it's weekend, whether it's late at night, early in the morning. That just doesn't seem that fun. You're either on the job or you're not. But for certain industries, it's just the way it goes. It's just how it is, right, Tommy?
Yeah, being on call, never can get away. My daughter has a job where she's on call from time to time. They pay her like $2 an hour just to be on call.
Oh, just to be on call?
Yeah, that's not a bad deal. Unless you have to go in.
Yeah. You're hoping that
They never call at a convenient time that, hey, we need you to come in. It's never at a convenient time.
No.
Well, good, I was doing nothing. I'll head that way.
No, it does not.
Never happens that way.
All right, let's go to the McClarty Daniel hotline. And
4th and 2 at the goal line. Hey, we need you to come in. No, not now.
I would.
The game is tied. Not now.
That's just great. There's this great thing called Do Not Disturb on your phone.
I think when you're on call, that the whole idea is you answer your phone.
You're not supposed to use it.
No.
Well, the guy that's on call right now is Clay Henry, who's the guy that you all know, Hall of Famer, Hogs Plus, ESPN Arkansas senior contributor. Clay, we appreciate you doing this fall with us each Arkansas Game Days. We set you up. Where are you on your drive to Little Rock right now?
I guess I'm still in Batesville. I'm about to cross over the White River and head to Bald Knob and take a right.
Is it the Pioneer?
The Bulldog.
Yeah.
The Bulldog.
You can stop at the Bulldog in Bald Knob, but that's where you're talking about.
No, I was at the Pioneers.
Yeah, Batesville is Pioneers.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, I can see the high school from right here. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Just look to the left, and there it is.
Yeah, I've been to the Bulldog many a times. I grew up going to Cersei's to visit my mama and papa, and Dee Dee lived in Bald Knob, so I know exactly where that is.
Yeah. Well, I've got 2 routes that I can take from Norfolk to Little Rock. One is just all the way down 5 through El Paso, hook up 167 at Cabot. I thought that might be a little dicey, this early with a lot of deer on the road. So I hooked it over through Melbourne in Batesville, and man, I saw a lot of deer in South Baxter County. I mean, it was just loaded with deer on the road. 54 degrees when I left my house.
Man. Starting to feel like fall. Yeah.
Well, kind of funny to think, well, they moved the game because it's going to be too hot, and it was 54 when I left the house.
Well, what do we expect to see today? I mean, we had the depth chart. I think there's a few players that may or may not actually make the start or even play the game. What are you expecting today?
Well, first of all, Tommy and Ty, I've been listening. I listened to Chuck's podcast when I first got going, and I listened. You guys have broken it down pretty darn well. And I would say what y'all have said in the last 20 minutes is spot on. But I'll just instead of just rehashing all that, I'll tell you some things that I want to see that maybe haven't been touched on a lot. Now you hadn't played, you scrimmaged a little bit. I'm sure they've done some things to simulate certain aspects like 3-on-3, tackling drill. I want to see how the linebackers and the safeties tackle in space. And if there's anything that the Catamounts have is some quickness at skill position, and can Arkansas tackle these guys? With Tommy, we know they just don't scrimmage that much anymore in the fall. They don't, they worried about depth, and so they don't. And you got a lot of new players, and I think they're going to play backers. They're going to play multiple safeties. That's how do those 10 or 11 guys perform? In front of people, and it's like, and you guys have really broken it down well. What's going to the reshuffled offensive line, and I watched some football the last couple of days in Utah and Florida. The clear difference was that Utah controlled the line of scrimmage, and that's what the Razorbacks should do today as well.
And that's the thing that, when you're as I said, we're all natural ball watchers, but if you'll train your eyes to start at the center and watch some of that today, if there's one thing you might leave and say, I'm really concerned, it would be if Arkansas didn't win the battle of the line of scrimmage over the course of 4 quarters. Don't get hung up on one player, one series, but Clay, you can adjust for timing, you can adjust for assignments and alignment issues. If you're not winning the battle at the line of scrimmage in a game of this caliber today, that would be the one thing I would leave a little bit nervous about if that doesn't happen. And I expect it. I think Arkansas will win that battle today.
Yeah, and it's the physical nature of the game should be where Arkansas has the advantage. The thing that you worry about as you roll in with a new offense, new system, new play callers on both sides. How sharp are they? How's their focus? On offense, you can block it up pretty well at, in tight end. We haven't mentioned that much. How do those guys block and control the edge? But you have to be synchronized and have mesh up front, and that's part of what I want to watch for today. And it might be that they've got 2 to 3 guys that whip somebody, but if you turn somebody loose somewhere else, it really gets it gets kind of dicey for the backs and the quarterback. Now, I think, Tommy, you made a really good point. How many times does KJ have to run it? And it might not even be called runs. Does he have to scramble because their protection isn't great
or reads?
Yeah. And I don't think they want him to have to run, in this particular game. But you get to where it's 3rd and 8. He looks, and some guys aren't running their routes. You got new guys there. And does he have to run like he has in the last couple of years?
Or if it's 3rd and 8, do you just call it? Let's just say Arkansas has a late second quarter, early third quarter, 35-7 lead. I'm just making up a number, but a comfortable lead, and the game's not on the line on this 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8. Do you just go ahead and call a pass play and just say, hey, we're not going to put him in that situation. We'll either get it or we'll punt. I think maybe you have a little more conservative approach to not let that guy get hit, because I can promise you Western Carolina has a player or two that could ring his bell.
Yeah, and Tommy, but let's just be honest. His instinct is, I'm gonna go make the play, and just like you got to call audibles as the general manager of this operation, and you may not wake up thinking you're going to make that decision today, but stuff happens and you got to make decisions. His instinct are really, really good, and one of them is when it looks a little grim, I'll go make a play.
Those games
take that out of him.
Yeah, I know, and we've talked about that. It's one thing to lower your shoulder to get the yard, to move the sticks. I just wonder how much last year, missing those games and missing the not being able to play healthy, did it change his outlook? Hey, do it when it's worth it. If you're in a situation where it's just not worth the risk today, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm overanalyzing here and getting into the weeds, but I wonder if his approach is any different going into this year than it was last year.
It might be, but when I'm just telling you, his instinct is.
I agree with you.
I'm bigger and badder than those guys, and I'm going to punish them. And there's some times where you just fall wrong, and you need to protect your shoulders. And but yeah, it's the maturation of a quarterback is a beautiful thing, and maybe he can. And I'll just throw you back to 99. Clint Sterner got hit a couple of times against Louisiana Monroe, and that season changed. And and y'all were talking about KJ could a bad season could force him to come back. Well, an injury could. So you just kind of have to roll the dice a little bit with him, and it's like, will he avoid the punishment and go out of bounds? We hope so.
No, that is the hope. Clay Henry, publisher, so used to saying that. Clay Henry, Hall of Famer with us. Clay, what about Jacoby Criswell? And again, that's a name. Morrilton, not too far from Little Rock. I know it's really, honestly, not too far from Fayetteville as well. What can fans expect to see when he trots out there at some point today?
Well, he's a big physical back, so to speak. He can run it, but he has got great arm talent. He's been a little streaky in camp. In the days I've watched him, he's been terrific. But when I inquire, I thought, well, he might not look like that yesterday. So he's still learning, the offense. He hasn't played much, if at all. Just a snap here or there. He needs snaps. He needs time. And to be real honest, it's not just he needs it, but the coaches need it, for confidence, and his teammates need it. The most important thing about KJ Jefferson is that his team knows he's their guy. But it really helps when your backup gets in and has a little success, so that, hey, we know we can count on him too. And if KJ misses a series, we're okay. So that there needs to be some confidence built by the team and the coaches, as well as Jacoby.
Yeah, and I wonder, with the confidence that having them in, how much less do you think the offense will have to change with Jacoby Criswell relative, Clay, to what they maybe had to do with Malikian last year?
That's a good question, and I talked to Dan Enos a little bit about the way he's used backups before, and do they have everything? And Petrino, he was pretty clear that Mallett had, a big playbook, and then when, he got hurt against Auburn and they put in Tyler Wilson, that it was a much reduced playbook, but it was specific to things that he does well. They've got a lot of package of passing game to the backs. These are great backs.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of take it for granted a little bit and talk about everybody else, but they've got 5 now, with the freshmen in
Augustop.
Yeah, he's terrific. Naples, Florida. He's an SEC back. He's still developing in pass protection. This might be a game where, all right, we can get those 4 horses out of here and look at the freshmen a little bit, because might need him before the year's over. So that's another aspect of this game. Do they get some time for both Criswell and the freshman back?
Clay Henry with us here, Arkansas Gameday. I think the defensive side of the ball is really where a lot more questions will get answered today, and particularly with that secondary.
Yeah, you're right. Tommy, there's a lot of thought that, okay, this offense is just going to be, tons better than Kendall Browse. They were pretty good on offense the last few years. They might have struggled some in the red zone or short yardage, that they need to improve. But where this team can make the biggest jump, because there's so much room for improvement, is defense.
Yeah.
And you're right. I'm probably watching the safeties is what they do. That I've talked to Travis Williams about the way they disguise things with the safeties, and do they show much today, or do they just play it straight, see if their front seven. But I think they're going to play an attacking scheme that everybody's going to like, as opposed to, rush 3 and drop 8, which was Barry Odom's primary defense. And they're going to try to force some turnovers and be aggressive up front. They're going to play 4 down, I think, for most of the game. So I think you're right, Tom.
Let's leave it on this. Sam Pittman heading into his 4th year. What does this year mean for him as a head coach, personally and professionally, as we start his 4th season?
Yeah, this is. I like to go back to what I've heard from coaches. In 50 years of being around the game, and Danny Ford was really good. He says in the SEC, your 2 losses, a 2-game losing streak. From the hot seat. And, I think that there's, encouraged enthusiasm, all across Razorback Nation, but, it's just got to keep doing it. You got to win more than what they did last year. 7, that's not what makes people in Arkansas happy. So, there's no long-term contracts. Even though they might sign them, I'm not saying that there's any concern or worries, but I think everybody's like, well, we want to see a little more. We like a lot of it, don't like some of it, but we'd like to see a little more. And are you building an SEC team as far as depth? And I think that's where I think they're better this year. But let's see it.
All right, the Hall of Famer Clay Henry headed to his old stomping grounds, War Memorial Stadium, Arkansas, and Western Carolina at noon today. We'll have the play-by-play with Chuck Barrett and Quinn Grovey coming up right here where you're listening now. Clay, enjoy the game, and we'll talk to you on the Morning Rush next Wednesday.
Thanks. I'm listening to you guys all the way down, so y'all tell me what I need to watch for, okay?
Keep the deer off the road.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, Clay Henry. He'll have a wrap-up of of what he saw today on Ruskin and Zach at 5 on Monday as well. So good to hear from Clay. And, you can fall into the trap, Ty, of overanalyzing things in a game of this nature today. But, that's what we've done since the season ended against Kansas, is we've looked forward to this day today to getting back to this point.
Yeah, and regardless of, again, how it shakes out in a couple hours, it'll be a lot easier to react to it rather than just try and prep for it, which we've been doing for the last 100 days or so.
All right, where are you listening from? What's your score prediction for today's game? Call us or text us, McClarty Daniel hotline here on Arkansas Game Day. 877-377-6963 is the number. After the game today, we're at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers at Russellville. We'll be live there with Hog Reaction. Arkansas Game Day presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and by KC Insurance Partners.
This is Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hello, this is Kevin Cowan at KC Insurance, and I just wanted to tell you all about plans that we have for Arkansans. It's through the Affordable Care Act, formerly known as Obamacare. Most Arkansans can qualify for a plan for $10 a month premium or below. We are located at 912 Highway 6265 North in Harrison, Arkansas, in the Ace Hardware Shopping Center. Give Ricky Cowan a call at 870-517-1207. Thank you.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Students are heading back to class, and football season is on everybody's mind. This is Mark at W&W Automotive. If your back-to-school travel plans include Friday night football or college game days, drop by W&W first and let us make sure your vehicle is travel-ready. From your oil and fluids to your battery, hoses, brakes, and belts, W&W will make sure you're there for every kickoff. Come see us just off of Townsend on South O in Fort Smith, or call me or Kelly at 242-1600. That's WW Automotive, a bumper-to-bumper certified shop.
What matters most to your family can now cost less when you choose comfortable, reliable, and efficient natural gas heating, water heating, cooking, and clothes drying for your home. You make the right choice in today's environment. High-efficiency natural gas appliances can reduce your monthly costs. And right now, you can save even more with heating and water heating rebates from AOG. Visit AOGC.com today and get more comfort for less cost.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
It's hard enough to find a quality used vehicle and even harder to get the financing. Well, look no more. RVR Auto can do both. They have a large selection of pre-owned vehicles and offer in-house financing with payments tailored to your needs. Cars, vans, trucks, all makes and models, and RVR Auto is locally owned. RVR Auto, where you aren't just a customer, you're part of the family. And they also sell used vehicle parts for all makes and models, even those hard to find. Check out their inventory at rvrauto.net or give them a call at 918-626-8111. RVR Auto, be a part of the family.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Summer's winding down, but the savings are just getting started. During the end-of-season pool sale at Burton Pools and Spas, owning a pool is more affordable than ever. For a limited time, save as much as $12,000 on a new top-of-the-line in-ground pool. That's right, save up to $12,000 on a new pool. One of the best investments you can make in your family. Visit Burton Pools and Spas in Fort Smith and Springdale or burtonpools.com. At Burton, we do more than build swimming pools. We build long-term relationships.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Sanders pushing toward the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
I kind of like the hogs there, Chuck.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline to 877-377-6963.
And welcome back into Arkansas Game Day. Another 40 minutes or so before we give it over to Phil, Rick Schaefer, and Gino Bell in just a bit. Got plenty of text to get to on the McClarty Daniel hotline. This one for Bill in Northeast Arkansas. He's calling a close one, Tommy. 35-24 Razorbacks. Again, Arkansas is favored by 34.5 on the Bet Saracen app, but he's not seeing it that way.
There'd be some disappointed fans if that's the way it played out. I think people are expecting 25, 30-point margin at the end of this one.
Yeah.
I think 34 is too many on the Bet Saracen app for me, at least.
Yeah, I went for Western Carolina cover. I think Arkansas is going to win somewhere between like 28 and 31. I don't think they're going to score at least 5 more touchdowns than the Catamounts, but we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Again, this is Arkansas Game Day, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners. We're going to be at the Stadium Shop next week. That pregame show with Derek, Zach, and DQ will start at 10 a.m., and then we'll have Hog Reaction following the game after that. We've gotten some questions this week about game times changing next week. No game time change next week. Because it was on streaming, Arkansas has the opportunity to change when the game is played. It's on linear television. It's on the SEC network next week, so they cannot change it.
No, so the game will be staying at 3, so hopefully the weather will be, it's pretty mild today and this morning. They moved the game to avoid some of the heat. I think also they wanted the time on the back end of the schedule today to get back to Fayetteville, so hopefully it'll be comfortable for fans next Saturday at 3 o'clock. Got some games in a full slate of college football today beginning at 11. A few SEC games, including Tennessee and Virginia at 11 today on ABC. Michigan plays ECU. That'll be an 11 a.m. game on Peacock. And TCU and Colorado on Fox. A lot of people want to see how the Deion Sanders era begins at Colorado this morning. Here in about 2.5 hours.
You know who's starting quarterback for the Horned Frogs, right?
That'd be Chad Morris's son, Chandler,
yep,
right?
That is correct. So he'll suit up for the Horned Frogs. He's played a little bit before behind it. I'm blanking on the kid's name from last year that led him to the national championship, but he is starting for the Horned Frogs today. So we'll see how he fares against Deion Sanders and company. Should be a interesting game to see again how game one comes out. The big game, though, tomorrow night, LSU and Florida State. The last weekend where the college football has monopoly on your weekends before the NFL slate gets going next Thursday when Kansas City welcomes in the Detroit Lions and then, of course, the rest of the weekend. So it's a big weekend for college football. It's just kind of a bummer you don't have as many marquee games as week one.
Had a few last night. It's about 8 games or so, 6 games last night. Miami beat Miami of Ohio 38-3. Louisville in a close one with Georgia Tech 39-34. Kansas over Missouri State 48-17. And Stanford beat Hawaii 37-24. Some of the more notable games from last night's slate.
I didn't watch any Friday night football. It's easy for me to watch Thursday night football. I just can't get in Friday nights. That's always going to be a high school night to me. I know Greg Sankey's spoken about that. I just can't watch Friday night college football.
What high school game did you go to?
I didn't watch anyone, but that.
Well, you just said it was a high school night
I haven't been to a high school football game, I don't believe, since I was in college. And I watched an FHS game with Barrett Bannister and Taylor Powell. It was big. We had friends that lived right next to Harmon Field, so we'd actually go to some high school football games from time to time. But that feels like a high school night to me, even though I don't necessarily partake in watching high school.
So you're not going to watch
night.
College because it's a high school night, but you're not going to watch high school either.
Nope, pretty much. But I will always hold
Gotcha.
in my heart that it is a high school football night and not a college
So you're boycotting.
football night. Yeah, I'm boycotting the college level because, there's never any good games. There's games I watch on Thursday, NFL or college, but Friday night football just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, Tony in Greenwood says that makes no sense. If it's a high school football night, but you don't go to a high school game, so you're refusing to watch college football, Tony is confused.
Well, Tony, I'm confused too. That's okay. We're all confused this morning. And I'll rescind that only for the conference championship weekend because they'll have like the Pac-12 championship and I think one other championship on Friday night. That's the only time I'll actually watch college football.
I figured you were an avid Little Rock Christian Academy viewer every Friday night on their stream.
Yeah, my friend's dad calls the games. Mr. Marty White does a great job, but I have not watched Walker and Company. I know we beat the tar out of Central game one. I don't know if they won last night or not.
I don't think they did last night, Ty.
They lost? Who'd they lose
They got upset last night.
By who?
I heard the score. Who was it that beat them? Hang on, it'll come to me. But, yeah, I believe they lost there because they were like the number – I was listening to Rex Nelson right here on the radio last night, and he went over the scores. But, yeah, they got beat last night.
I saw that Kane Archer had his way with Northside last night. And, who did we – what was this? Wellington? Shiloh
Christian beat them. That's it. Shiloh Christian beat them.
That
weird. Was the return trip. Little Rock Christian comes to Shiloh last year and throttles them, and they make the return trip.
Did Walker get hurt?
And Shiloh beats them.
That's not good. Well,
it's called football.
Yeah, I guess that's how it goes sometimes.
Shiloh beat them handily.
Yeah, 43-22.
Yeah.
Yeesh. Well, that's not good, but hopefully they...
But I'm glad you're boycotting college football on a Friday night, even though you're not watching. What were you watching last night?
I was in bed I worked till 6, worked out, grabbed a Jersey Mike sub, and was in bed by 8:30.
Yeah, well, You just you keep boycotting on Friday nights.
I don't even.
You can go with me. I'm at a high school game every Friday. You can just load up and go with me.
I'd rather just sleep and get ready for the weekend. I mean, and when you get done Friday nights. Friday nights were honestly, it's been the lightest day for me from a doing stuff standpoint since I was in school, because you were so tired from what you did Thursday night, and then now you're in the workforce and you're tired from the week. Saturday, you kind of gear up for Saturday and the festivities all day long, but Friday night, it's just a day to relax a little bit. Yeah. Go to bed once work's done.
All right, Arkansas Game Day right here, ESPN Arkansas, streaming on hitthatline.com, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance. After the game, I know we got a throng of people headed down I-40 right now towards Little Rock, coming from Northwest Arkansas, coming from the western side of the state. If you're anywhere near Russellville or west heading that way, after the game, don't overindulge at the game. Make your plans to stop at exit 81. Ty will be there. He'll give you hair product recommendations, and he'll help you get your hamburger all fixed up today at our favorite place. That's CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers, exit 81, the only place to get your burger in Russellville.
I did see a product the other day that I think I might try at some point. I'm usually just a water and hairbrush man, but I might give this salt spray stuff a little bit of a try. But I'm more excited about the burger.
Salt spray?
That's some salty spray or something.
Yeah, I think my daughter's cheerleading team uses that.
Well, if it works, it works. Doesn't matter. If it's unisex and it works, it doesn't really matter at that point. But I'm excited about my burger. I'm excited about my fries. I'm going to try one of the 5 new shakes that Keith and his team had, and hopefully we'll be reacting to some blowouts at this point. More text here on the McClarty Daniel hotline. Jerry saying 41-0 in favor of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Bobby and Ash... What's up?
I would like 41-0.
Yeah, you'll take a shutout. Bobby in Ashdown says 52-3 Hogs. Landon Jackson has 2.5 sacks and a scoop and score later on today.
Here's what I like. I've got the weather app up on my phone. Noon today, partly cloudy, and I'm looking at Little Rock now. 84 degrees.
That's not bad.
88 at 1. 90 at 2. Game's going to be over somewhere in the 3 o'clock hour, just 91 degrees. The daytime high is going to only reach 92 today. So, man, if you can kick off with temperatures below 90, mid-80s, that is a win for everyone today.
Oh, you take that. And, again, people a little frustrated they moved up the game times, especially the ones going to the game. But this isn't just something they're doing to prohibit tailgating. It's doing it for a number of different reasons.
As Sam said, I don't care about tailgating.
Yeah, I mean, that's not his job. His job is to win football games. His job is to do the best for his players, and if this is the case, that's the case. I mean, I didn't necessarily want to wake up at 5:30 this morning to get here, do the pregame, but I mean, if this...
Well, I did.
You were ready?
Couldn't think of it. I was up early. Couldn't wait. Chomping. We've been waiting for days to get here to college football
I've been waiting
season.
for days, but I'd much rather get up, like 8 o'clock and then get ready for the pregame at 10 than I would for 5:30 and get the pregame at 7, if we're just being perfectly honest about that. But I'm more invested and more interested in what's best for the football team. And if that's, you know me.
You almost said it with a straight face. All right, next Thursday in Fayetteville, the high temperature is going to be 100 degrees.
You said Thursday?
Next Thursday.
What does it do on Saturday?
94. I put it in context to make you feel better about Saturday, because 94 is still hot, but it's going to be 100 2 days before that.
Yeah.
At least right now, that's the forecast.
What's Arrowhead going to be at 7 o'clock next
we
Thursday?
Don't care. It's going to be 94 next Saturday,
90.
though, and fully sunny, and there's no chance of moving the game from
Play
3.
golf next Friday, too. Got to figure out what it is in Fayetteville. It's going to be in the 90s as well. Hopefully not that bad at that point. But again, the setup for next week, I've had plenty of people tell me that the real season kicks off next Saturday when you take on Kent State at this point. I don't know how it's going to shake out in terms of attendance. You're going to have at least 40,000 sold tickets. That's been said. We'll see how many fans actually show up inside of War Memorial Stadium, kind of like you opened the show with, and we talked about the Liberty Bowl last year. Maybe some fans listening, maybe some fans that hadn't decided as of last night that they were going, decide, you know what, let's just go to the game today.
Oh, I bet somebody got up this morning. I'll be honest, there was part of me as I got up that kind of regretted making the decision not to go to War Memorial and stay here in the studio today. So, I mean, I think you always had the fear of missing out on something, and I don't think the competition on the field, if everything plays out as it should, is going to be what you miss, but it's the atmosphere. I love the pageantry of college football, and that's what I'm looking forward to being back with today.
Yeah, and you should. Again, it's not just about Arkansas. It's about these other matchups. College Game Day's already gotten going. I listened to the new College Game Day song with Lainey Wilson, Cadillac 3, and Darius Rucker. I don't hate it. I mean, of course, Big and Rich is always going to be tried and true with my heart, but it is good to have the traditions back and everything going back to our old ball coach, Corso, back as well.
They're all cheap imposters of Hank Jr. Hank Jr. is who started all of this. With all my rowdy friends are coming over tonight. That's where it all began. That's the song for football.
I'm not pushing back on that. I watched that every Monday night with my dad, and then he'd
Frank,
make us go
Frank
to bed.
Gifford give the intro, and then he had a great booth there with Frank Allen, Dan, and then those helmets would come together and collide and explode, and pieces of the helmets would go everywhere. You did not miss the beginning of Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
That's who all these people are trying to just be somewhat in the same league as Hank Jr.
Baylor Brad used to let us watch that song, and then we had to go to bed right after that. He wouldn't even let us watch. I was like, Dad, what's?
Well, see, that's how important the helmets colliding and Hank Jr. was.
Golly, it's like
Monday Night Football next. So that's great.
Ugh. I wish I just could have watched some of those games back in the day. I had a strict curfew, strict household that I grew up in. I guess it's how it turned out.
Did it pay off?
I mean, you tell me.
We're all wondering.
You tell me.
All wondering. Hey, get game day ready at the Stadium Shop, and I'm not just talking about a great-looking T-shirt. Ty's got a great-looking T-shirt on from the Stadium Shop right now. It's got the Razorback on it. It's kind of the old-school logo on the front. You'll find a variety. And we'll tell you next week, if the weather's like we just said, you better get by and see Robert at some point this week and get you something in white. You don't want dark colors next week. If you're going to be sitting outdoors at the stadium, you need something of the lighter shade to keep you cool. He'll have a good variety of T-shirts and game day wear and really everything you need from hats and visors to things for your man cave and your tailgates and all sorts of stuff at the Stadium Shop, and we're going to be there next Saturday. Yeah,
I cannot wait. I'm going to need an advance on my salary because I'm just going to absolutely keep swiping the card next week because Derek and Zach and Olivia, I'm going to stop by and see them, get a hog hat. I like these comfort colored T-shirts like the one I'm wearing now. These got a slobber hog one that I'm going to get down there, so cannot wait to be there next week live.
All right, so that's all at the Stadium Shop, 10 a.m., next Saturday morning when we get it all underway. We still got a hog reaction tonight after the game and more to come. This is Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas.
This is Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Call World of Wireless if you've recently lost your internet service in the Paris-Subiaco area. World of Wireless, a local internet provider providing service since 2015 to rural Arkansas. We cover areas east of Fort Smith, south of Fort Smith, and rural areas with high-speed internet with plans starting at $49.95 a month. But you got to call us, World of Wireless, 478-6616. It's 478-6616. If you've recently lost service from your internet provider in and around Subiaco and Paris, call us, 478-6616, or go to wowfastinternet.com.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Shop the store that honors Christ all year. Shop the Solid Rock. Are you looking for that perfect inspirational gift? From greeting cards to home decor, custom laser engraving, and women's boutique items, the Solid Rock is your source for local, hard-to-find inspirational gifts for everyone in the family, including a large selection of Bibles with free name imprint. Solid Rock. Score the perfect gift, share the spirit, enjoy the inspiration. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th and Fort Smith, the Solid Rock, serving the River Valley for over 48 years.
Where can you get good neighbor service and surprisingly great insurance rates? At State Farm, because State Farm agent Heath Roberts is your one-stop shop in the River Valley for the service you deserve at the price you want. So stop looking around. State Farm agent Heath Roberts is ready to help. Call 479-452-4088 for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
The Links at Chaffee Crossing takes great pride in providing award-winning barbecue. Whether the craving is for ribs, pork, brisket, or chicken, we can satisfy any appetite. Stop in and watch the game and enjoy everyday food and drink specials like $5 mixed drink specials or $2 domestic beer. Open Tuesday through Sunday, the Links at Chaffee Crossing is ready to serve you the best barbecue in the River Valley. The Links at Chaffee Crossing next to Deer Trails Golf Course. Come see us.
Honey, I found a great new house for us to buy. Look at the photos.
Yeah? Who's gonna clean that big house?
We'll hire a housekeeper.
And who's gonna mow all that grass?
I will, on the weekends.
And who will get the kids to school?
We'll start a neighborhood carpool.
You thought of everything, didn't you?
Yep.
Except, who's gonna sell this house we're living in now?
Nick and Ellie Glidewell. nickandellie.com. Equal housing opportunity, Sagely and Edwards Realtors.
Students are heading back to class, and football season is on everybody's mind. This is Mark at W&W Automotive. If your back-to-school travel plans include Friday night football or college game days, drop by W&W first and let us make sure your vehicle is travel-ready. From your oil and fluids to your battery, hoses, brakes, and belts, W&W will make sure you're there for every kickoff. Come see us just off of Townsend on South O in Fort Smith, or call me or Kelly at 242-1600. That's W&W Automotive, a bumper-to-bumper certified shop.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. This is Arkansas Game Day.
Sanders pushing toward the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
I kind of like the hogs there, Chuck.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline to 877-377-6963.
Well, that's a good text that I just received on the McClarty Daniel hotline. This comes from former Razorback wide receiver Richard Smith. He told me he thinks there's a chance that he stops by CJ's on the way back to Northwest Arkansas. So, Richard, if you want to stop by after, and honestly, we'd love you to stop in and kind of give us your take, because the fact that you played the position, I kind of want to see how these wide receivers shake out today.
Tell you what, you and Richard ought to do a 40-yard dash for winner. Loser buys the burgers.
I'd be buying, and I'd be happy. I'd be happy to buy again at this point. I saw Richard. You know, it's funny. I saw Richard in Las Vegas when Arkansas got their clocks cleaned by UConn. At that point, we saw each other at half. We kind of had just the same look on our face. It's like, this isn't going to go well in the second half, is it? Like, yeah, I don't think so. I think this is a good season, but I think it's stopping in the Sweet 16 at this point. So hopefully Richard kind of stops by, not just gives his insight on the Arkansas wide receivers, but the rest of the football team. Hopefully he's a much happier camper, and I'm a much happier camper than we were in Las Vegas in that arena when Arkansas played UConn at that point.
He's a great guy and one of our fellow football and basketball officials here in Arkansas.
Yeah, I knew you were going to go there.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, when someone's of that high of integrity, you want to make sure everybody is aware.
Well, I've reffed a couple.
He may have been an All-American in a previous life, but this is a much bigger deal.
Yeah, All-American track and field guy, but no, let's talk about how great of a ref he is.
That's right.
Now, technically, I have reffed here in the state of Arkansas, 4th and 5th grade girls basketball, which parents are just psychotic, man. I mean, I'm just out there in my knee brace and my ref uniform and just getting
shirt untucked, hair unkept. I mean,
it was very much so. I wanted to wear a hat, but evidently that's
great
not
representative.
No,
had your hat on backwards if you'd have been out there.
I would have, absolutely. That's when I play basketball, and if I do wear a hat, when my hair gets really, really long, my hat is backwards. It's not forwards, because you can't see the rim if it's forward like that.
So a lot of people wondering what's going to happen on the offensive line today, and I think there's going to be some shakeup. There's still a lot of questions. We don't officially know what Brady Latham's status is, but I don't think any of us expect him to play. I guess we're going to find out as Tom Murphy and Hutch and all those had their binoculars closely trained on warm-ups. I don't think you'll see Latham even at the stadium, as would be my guess today. I think we got to remember this has happened before. We've had players that have been questionable or injured or uncertain. Sometimes they just stay back and get treatment and get ready for the next week. It wouldn't surprise me if in an hour, a couple hours, we learn that might be the case. But I think today you're going to see Andrew Chamblee out first at left tackle. I think you'll see, because of Latham not being able to go today, is my guess, Josh Braun's going to move over on the left side. You'll have Limmer, of course, at center, and that's going to put Tykees Crawford at the right guard spot, and then Patrick Kutas at the other tackle slots. I think that will be the first five that's out there today. I think it's great for Andrew Chamblee, who's had a good camp. He's been the guy as Devin Manuel has been unable to practice, and he's a Maumelle kid. You know, the fact that you get to start what Maumelle to that stadium is 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Man, that's a big deal for him and his family. So I just think that's right up Sam Pittman's alley. You know, a kid from Central Arkansas. It's close maybe, or maybe it's not even close. Chamblee, I think, has earned the start just based on what we've heard from practice. Him getting to do that 20 minutes from his house, that's awesome.
Yeah, and hopefully,
I hope that's how it plays out today.
Hopefully, I have a big game today. I can't remember who. Maybe Zach was talking about this yesterday, or maybe it was Matt. But I think Coach Pittman met with the guys last night and talked about the significance of playing in War Memorial Stadium. I know that they had Malik Chavis, who did the pipe video, and him and Zach Williams were speaking of Little Rock. Malik is from Rison, Arkansas. Zach is from Little Rock, Arkansas. So for them, War Memorial games were a big, big deal. And I think you were talking about this yesterday, for Tank Booker, who's from Maryland, for some of these other guys that are from out of state, Snack Johnson, Walcott, these transfers, they got no clue about Little Rock history. They're like, why are we playing in War Memorial? Why aren't we playing in
They certainly
Fayetteville?
didn't take a recruiting visit there.
No question. And you're not going to be able to, again, host recruits today, which is one of the deterrents of playing in Little Rock.
Good.
But it is.
Good. Would you want to host them today? No.
No. If the locker rooms haven't been updated, which, I don't know if they haven't been there in a while, but it is important.
You didn't go to a high school game there recently?
No. Not on Friday nights. I didn't go to any state championships either. I did watch Austin Allen beat Bentonville back in, that would have been 2012, 2013, but the interesting part is of this, like the setup for it is, again, you gotta let these guys know. You might not want to play there, which is fine, coaching staff, athletic department, whatever, but that can't seep within your team, and unfortunately, at certain times it has.
You better embrace it, because you don't have a choice. They're not going to move the game today, so you better embrace it. You better be ready to go.
Yeah,
and make the best out of this situation. I don't think the players really care what field they're on, what stadium they're at. Is it inconvenient? Yes, but do they? You think the players are going to play with less energy or less excitement in the opener because it's not in Fayetteville? I don't think so.
Well, we'll have to see. Later on at 12 o'clock again, we'll go to Phil Elson, Gino Bell, and Rick Schaefer next. One more segment of Arkansas Game Day coming up.
This is Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
We know there's never a shortage of work to do. Get more done with a New Holland Workmaster Compact Tractor. Available now at WT Equipment. Get big savings when you buy now. 0% financing for 72 months. Plus, no payments for 90 days, or choose cash back on these 24 to 55 horsepower compact and subcompact tractors. They're roomy, easy to operate, and still deliver all the power you could ask for. Upgrade your work today at WT Equipment in Springdale. Online at WTEquip.com. But hurry, offers end August 31st.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Here's to you and yours from your friends at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. Hey, warmer weather is with us, and that means fun in the outdoors. Whether you're in the boat, onshore enjoying a picnic, or attending a family celebration, In Good Spirits can provide you with the tastiest adult beverages in town. And don't forget to treat yourself as you listen to the game. In Good Spirits, Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
At AOG, our main goal is to deliver reliable energy to your home safely. And keeping our team members, customers, and community safe starts with awareness. Natural gas has a distinctive, strong odor, often compared to rotten eggs or sulfur. If you smell gas, leave your home immediately. Go to a safe location and call 911 in addition to AOG. Remember, if you smell gas, act fast. And always call 811 before you dig. To learn more about natural gas safety, visit AOGC.com. AOG, energy for life.
Are you needing new tires? Are you short on cash? Van Alma Tire can help you get back on the road. Come by Van Alma Tire and apply for caffeine. It only takes minutes to get approved, and you can get the tire or the service you need to get your vehicle back on the road. Top-of-the-line tires, brake service, and more. Van Alma Tire is here to help you. Located on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Must be 18 or older. Valid ID. Active checking account and income at least $1,000 per month.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese. He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe and a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley. Shop Metters Lumber True Value for great bargains of the month. Get your grill on this fall with a top-of-the-line 22-inch slate color charcoal gray by Weber for $159.99. Looking for a new garbage can? Check out the 32-gallon Rubbermaid Roughneck trash can for only $24.99. Also, 12-pack of mason jars by Home Point is just $8.99. They're a great way to store and transfer food and much more. Don't miss out. Get these bargains of the month while supplies last at Metters Lumber True Value.
Escape to the lake with G3 boats and Suncatcher pontoons. Huge Model N year closeout sale going on now at Auto Finders and Adventure Oklahoma in Roland. Save thousands on 2023 G3 models and Suncatcher pontoons with the largest rebates of the year now through September 30th. There's still time for some fun on the water with Auto Finders and Adventure Oklahoma. View their inventory online at autofindersok.com. Your search ends here. See dealer for rebate details.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Why would you wander around a warehouse store looking for paint when you could just swing by your neighborhood Ace? In addition to Ace's award-winning service, we have top-rated paint brands. Plus, our color matching technology allows us to match any color. So stop wandering and start painting. Head to your neighborhood Ace today.
Now through September 11th, buy 1 gallon of Clark Kensington or Ace Royal paint and get one 50% off at your local Yeager's Hardware. Sale includes interior and exterior paint, limit 2.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Sanders pushing toward the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
I kind of like the hogs there, Chuck.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline 877-377-6963.
All right, back here on Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners. Again, just a reminder, we will be at the Stadium Shop next week. Derek Ruskin, Zach Arns, DQ will head up Arkansas Game Day, and we'll be back for Hog Reaction after the game as well. We're going to be at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville for Hog Reaction. Got to guess, you say around 4:30, 6:30, or 5 to 7, give or take?
You just confused me. I think the game will be over around 3:30. We'll be on the air about 4:30. Yeah,
4:30.
Between 4:30 and 5.
I don't know. Sometimes for the Learfield pre or post game, they go an hour. Sometimes it's an hour and a half. Just
1 hour. We're going on the air.
Okay. Well, there you go. Do it right there at that point. So again, make sure. Hopefully, Richard Smith stops by, and we'll get a chance to hear from former Razorback wide receiver and a guy that knows a little thing or two about football, some reaction to the game. Hopefully plenty of offense to react to. We've got a variety of texts this morning on the McClarty Daniel hotline where Arkansas is going to end up today. Again, Tommy and I don't think they're going to cover, but I do think they're going to put some points on the board today.
I tell you what, you want to sell some more tickets for next Saturday? Go ahead and score about 65 today. You want to get a buzz going this week? You want to make our job a little easier Monday? And yes, we will be on the air Monday. All of our shows, Morning Rush, Halftime, Ruskin and Zach Monday. Go out and put 68 on these guys today, 70. You know, Sam Pittman's not a run-it-up kind of guy, but people would be more excited. People love offense. That'd be one way to sell some tickets this week.
Yeah. Hopefully you see a lot of guys again later on today, not just the starters.
Coach, do it!
But a variety of guys.
Come on, KJ.
That's going to do it for us here on Arkansas Game Day. Phil Elson, Gino Bell, Rick Schaefer coming up. Stay right here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com all day long for your Arkansas pre, current, and post-game coverage. We'll talk to y'all later on this afternoon.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Light beer.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
What do you get when you pull into Tony's Tire Service? You get the best selection of tires for any car, truck, or commercial vehicle. Tony's Tire Service has Cooper tires and is ready to serve you to get you back on the road safely. They'll also get your vehicle fixed with brake replacements plus an alignment with the best repair guy in the area. Tony's Tire Service has been serving the River Valley for over 34 years. Come let our guys replace your tires with Cooper tires and our service department to make sure the vehicle has the best brakes and alignments. Tony's Tire Service, 7200 South 28th Street in Fort Smith. Service you can depend on.
Frank Rowe Furniture is your family-owned furniture, appliance, and electronics store. We have been servicing the area for 38 years with quality products and service after the sale. Frank Rowe Furniture offers a no-pressure sales atmosphere where you can actually enjoy shopping for your furniture. We also offer in-store, no-credit check financing. Don't wait weeks to be able to take your furniture you purchase home. Stop by and we will load you up today. Family-owned, service after the sale, and no-credit check financing. Frank Rowe Furniture, 405 4th Street, Marlin, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
When it comes to your vehicle dent repairs, you want a local professional that you can trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your place. Michael, his family, and team have been in the community for over 30 years and are the best in the business. When all the other pop-up hail damage places have packed up and left town, Littleton's is still here taking care of your vehicle every day. Stay local. Stay with the best. Stay with the name you know and trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Highway 112 off I-540 in Pensacola.
The fastest internet you could find in rural Arkansas is from Wave Rural Connect and available now in areas like West Hartford, Gibson Ridge, and Elm Park. Wave Rural Connect is taking orders for Arkansas Valley Electric members on their Hartford substation. Order at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Fast internet from a local provider in Ozark. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect. Changing the communities we serve.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Looking for a new piece of heavy equipment? Come on over to Sharp Equipment today and explore our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Newson dealer and a Cinnabogan authorized service provider. From excavators with the best-in-class breakout forks to powerful skid steers, we'll be sure to find the right equipment for you. Stop in Central Hydraulics and see us at Sharp Equipment, located at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-242-1406.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle on the lot now through Labor Day Monday at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get your state sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle on the lot, but only through Labor Day. You'll save hundreds, even thousands with state sales tax paid. This does not apply to previously negotiated deals. State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle on the lot through Labor Day Monday at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins today.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Razorback Sports Network.